Hello and welcome to the Dan Chokoe Academy, where I will be teaching kids and adults how to program and do system administration. My name is Dan Chokoe. I'll be the instructor. And if you really want to know who I am and what I'm about, I think my website really does justice. Besides, I don't really like talking about myself that much. So on your browser, go to danchokoe.co.za and you will see what I'm about. It essentially shows who I am, where I've worked, what are my experiences, my qualification, as well as my portfolio showing what I've done, and the blog post sharing the information that I'd like to disseminate to even you who has joined this channel. So, like and subscribe the channel. I'll be giving you more of this content, and I trust and hope that you can share it with your peers. Now, this is my website, as I've said, and if you really want to know much about me, just go to this website. You will understand all that I'm about. But before we jump into the introductory episode, I'd just like you to show you something that I've been busy with. And this is something that will be released very soon. I've created a book to teach kids how to do coding in Python. Now, the book is called Coding Adventures in South Africa, a kid's guide to Python programming. I just want you guys to look at the table of contents because it's about 10 different chapters, with each chapter containing coding exercise that also speak about the landscape and culture of South Africa. So we're essentially teaching kids about South Africa and teaching them coding exercises. So please buy this book whenever it's ready for your kids so they can learn. Now, as a teaser, let's do something that is not in the book, but it shows you what you will get in the book. So, Python programming. What am I saying? In order to program in Python, you need something that is called IDE. Now, I want you to download the Thorny IDE. Remember, when we're talking about programming, there are different kinds of languages. There are different kinds of languages such as C sharp, Java, Python, JavaScript. All these kinds of languages have a specific tool that is used to program that specific language. Now, because we are going to be doing Python, the tool that we'll be using is Thorny. Now, you go to thorny.org. As soon as you enter on the landing page, you will find options to download the latest version of Thorny. So I'm using Linux. However, if you're on Windows, you can download on Windows. If you're on Mac, you can install on Mac. Linux, it also gives you the instruction of how to do it. I've already downloaded it, so I hope you have downloaded your Thorny, and let's just launch Thorny and get into the first exercise. There we go. Thorny is launched. The first thing you need to do is to go to File and click New to open a new file, essentially, where we'll be coding the exercise. Now, I thought long and hard about the first exercise. Which first exercise must I come up with? And I went back down the years. The first time I really started programming, I was in grade 10. I think I may have been 15 or 16. I don't really remember what age I was. It's been that long. But the most important programming exercise that we did at the time was to design a traffic light. Traffic light has three different kinds of lights: red, orange, and green. Now, we did that exercise and my mind was blown away. So I decided, as a first or introductory episode, let me also do the same for you guys and teach you how to design a traffic light in Python. Our traffic light will also encompass those three different lights, and we will make sure that they change based on the times that we've given it. So, to make it fun and exciting, Our program will ensure that the light changes after every 10 seconds. I've already written the program, so I'll just copy it and paste it and then explain each and every line for you guys. So hang tight as we create the traffic light. Rhymes, baby. There we go. So just quickly copy and paste. This is the code that will create the traffic light. It's about 52 lines. Yes, it's 52 lines. Just want to increase it so as to make it easier and simple for me to explain what the code is. Hope you can all see it. So, I mean, it's really simple. Let's just do a quick recap of what we're doing here. We are going to create a traffic light that changes color every 10 seconds. Now, to ensure that we do that, the first thing is to import what is called a library. So tkinter is a library to create basic graphical user interface for the traffic light that changes colors every 10 seconds. So graphical user interface will be a window that will show the traffic light and all the lights that encompasses the traffic light. So it's a traffic light, but if you're in South Africa, we call it a robot. It's a robot. And a robot changes from red to orange, then to green. How does it do it? This is the logic that I'm showing you. Now, the first thing is to import the tkinter library, as I've said. And as soon as you do that, you will be able to create a user interface. Then the next thing, I'm importing time because, as I've said, this application must change colors every 10 seconds. So it needs to move from red to orange after every 10 seconds. Then, as soon as you are done with that, you are creating a class. Let's highlight a class. You are creating a class called TrafficLight. Now, excuse me. Now, this TrafficLight class will handle the GUI, the graphical user interface, and the logic for changing colors. That is essentially what the application is about. It has a GUI where the traffic light has to be drawn, and then the logic where the traffic light has to change the different colors in 10 seconds, as I've said. Now, as soon as you've created that class, the first thing to do is to draw the traffic light. I need to show you where we are drawing the traffic light. So it's a method called draw traffic light to create the graphical representation of our traffic light. And as you can see here, we are using the create triangle to draw the background and create oval to draw the three circles representing red, orange, and green lights. You can see here that there are hashes that explain what each process does. So the hash is what we call a comment. It's a comment to essentially say if somebody else is using this code, oh, geez, sorry. If somebody else is reading your code, they need to understand what each line is doing. So you even have where you need to turn off the light. So turn off the lights, it means if one light is on, the other two has to be turned off. And interchangeably, that's what it's going to be doing. Now, after creating the oval, we then go to the update traffic light. That is what I was telling you about. It's supposed to handle the color changes. So we'll turn off all the lights, then turn on only one current light. And that is what it's doing. Using the item config to change the color of the lights. And we are scheduling the next update using after to create a loop. A loop is something that goes on and on and on after a specific period. Now, the main function, which I will share, is at the bottom. It's if name. So we are creating a name function to set up the tkinter window and run our application. This block ensures our program runs when executed directly. We create an instance of the TrafficLight class and start the tkinter event loop with the main loop. And this is it, guys. I know I really want this to be short, so I'm not going to talk much about it. And in the next episode, I will be literally explaining each and every line and coding it without just simply copying and pasting. But I hope and trust that you have enjoyed this. We need to run it, but first, let's save it in case something else happens. So we're going to save it and just give it a name. I'll call it eRobot because I'm in South Africa and I need to, give praise to South Africa. So eRobot, it's now forcing you to have a .py extension. A .py means it's a Python script that is executable by Python. So as soon as it forces you to, excuse me, give a .py, you click yes, then it saves it, eRobot.py. Now you can click F5 to execute the program or just click this green button here on the thorny green button and voila, here's your traffic light. It's turning red and let's see if it will change. Look at my arms are here. Oh, it's orange. I did not do a thing. Let's see if it will turn green. I don't have the timer, so if I had the timer, oh, it's turned green. If I had the timer, I was going to show you the timer and then see if it really does it in 10 seconds. But essentially, this is what we were developing, guys, how to program a traffic light. Now you then understand why the robot just turns from red to orange. You know, I don't know how long they time the traffic lights in South Africa, but I'm sure one day I can just go there with my stopwatch just to see how long it takes to change from one color to another. But this is the program, guys, how to program a traffic light using Python. My name is Dan Chokoe. Please like and subscribe the channel. I will be dishing out more valuable programming skills and look out for that book. It's going to come out soon. Get it for your kids. Get it for yourself if you really want to learn from that young perspective. And I'll be doing something for the adults too. Shout out. Peace, y'all. Peace. Yes.